G'day folks, this afternoon I've decided to pop down to my local waterway to do a little bit of crayfishing, but I've hit an obstacle before I even start. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Check this out. We had a lot of rain last week and the river got really high, and I thought, well, I won't go down to my favourite little spot here because there'll be water in the little creek that goes in. But I thought it would have drained out by now, and I come down here thinking I wouldn't have to get my feet wet, and she's full of water. And I've cleaned the back of my car out and the gumboots aren't in it. So I've got no gumboots. I've got me Keen hiking boots. They're very waterproof, but not that waterproof. But anyway, you've seen me crayfish here quite a few times. It's quite close to home. And because it's close to home, I'm just going to barge through there like a champion, get my feet wet, put my nets in, and then I'll go home and change my shoes and socks and come back with gumboots on. Tiptoe through the tulips. Shit, that's cold. Woohoo! God damn, that's cold. Cold, 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 cold. I'm in, but I got wet feet. Did I mention how cold that water was? I've walked through there before to go craying here and I caught the biggest crayfish I've ever caught in that video. Let's just hope the high water brings out the big crayfish. Well, there's no shortage of water. The river's very, very high. Now, I've only brought 3 drop nets with me, but for a bit of an experiment, a bit of fun, I've brought a collapsible bait trap. A collapsible bait trap, a shrimp net. I'm going to bait up my 3 cray nets, and then I'm going to throw the shrimp net in. I actually didn't expect the water to be this high. After catching a yabby and a shrimp at Yanko Creek recently, it was a bit of an eye-opener, so I thought, I might just throw it in just for a bit of fun, bit of an experiment and see if I can catch anything in the shrimp net. But it's way higher than I expected it to be. Oh well, I'm sure I'll find somewhere to put it in. Now for bait, you're going to laugh here in a minute. For bait, I've got half a rabbit. My old man gave me a rabbit the other day, and I cut the back half off, and I thought I'd give the front half to the dog, Jaffa. And what do you know, Jaffa turned her nose up at it. A little bit of venison, that'll probably go in the collapsible bait trap. For anybody that's ever eaten venison or cut up a deer, that's off the back strap. Under the back strap there's this real thick leathery sort of fat line, and you've got to skin the knife underneath, and that's just a section of that. And in here I've got some chicken bones. Combination of chicken bones, a little bit of venison, and a rabbit, and this is the bit you're going to laugh at. They're all half cooked. I put them in for 8 minutes to defrost them. I put them in the microwave for 8 minutes to thaw them out, but I forgot to push it defrost, so I actually cooked them for 8 minutes. So they're not cooked all the way through, they're partly cooked, partly raw, partly frozen, partly rabbit, partly chicken, partly venison. Hopefully we can catch some crayfish on all that stuff. Right, let's get to it, there's not a second to lose. Right, net number 1 is the rabbit net. It's got the rabbit meat in it. Yeah, just out there. And net number 2, it's got the 4 drumsticks in it. It's got the chicken quaddy. You can just go out there. Now, if that doesn't catch anything, I'm going to be really foul. Just kidding. That's because it fouls at chicken, in case you don't get my sense of humour. Right. That's the net with the net in the middle. This is the call, the big call. The net in the middle is going to be the net that catches the most crayfish. That's the call. Net number 3 has got 3 drumsticks and a bit of offcut. A bag of Aldi chicken drumsticks. It's got about 12 or 13 chicken drumsticks in this great big offcut. I don't know what it is, but it's not a drumstick. They're a non-conforming product. Right. Hopefully it conforms to the crayfish. Hopefully they like it and they're happy with it. Which I'm sure they will be. I'll catch a monster here later on. This spot doesn't have huge numbers of crayfish, but it has some great quality crays. Big crays. Big crays. Big crays. Right, so I'm just stuffing this bit of fat and meat and stuff into the little bait pouch here on the collapsible bait trap. Now I've got a few sinkers in the bottom. I expected there to be a bit of current, but not this much. So I put a few sinkers in just to help it sink to the bottom. It's not real deep just there. About 2 feet of water. It's in the shallows. Let's just see how that goes. Right, now I'm going to check the nets. It's time for the impatient check. They've had about 25 minutes. Now this is going to be a twilight crayfishing session. I've got a couple of chances to check them in the afternoon, then I'm going to check them tonight with my torch. See whether the twilight can bring them on. How does it feel? I don't think there's anything in it. Maybe a small one. No. Net number 2. Got to be a bit carefully because the banks are sort of falling away. I was about to stand there, but I just noticed it's all broken. I don't want me crane it to get caught on any of the roots, so it doesn't feel overly heavy. Oh, there's one in it. Look at the size of that. Yeah. This is what I love about this spot. It has big crayfish. Big crayfish. You all right there, buddy? You all good? Right, let's get a measure. Is it a pregnant female? Might just got its tails curled up, I'm guessing. Look at all those eggs. Sure is a pregnant female, and she is loaded with eggs. Doesn't feel all that heavy, I said. I never ever call it right, do I? I can barely hold her claws down. She's going to be a 130, I reckon. Right, now there's the oversize. I'll go straight to the oversize. You know she's not undersized, so... Oh no, not 130. She's actually be a legal crayfish. If it was a male, it'd be a legal crayfish. I've overcalled it. I reckon it's about 117, 118. She's got eggs anyway, but if it was a male, it'd be legal. Well, I'll walk way down there or just drop her here. She should be pretty... I know what I'll do. I'll just put her down here and she'll find her own way back. See you later, love. Down you go. Careful, careful. Up. Let's get the tail going. And off she goes. God, I love that. I never ever tire of seeing that big tail swim backwards into the water. Just awesome. Catching a big crayfish on the impatient check at the start is always a good sign. Right, this feels heavy. I have nothing. Oh, it's tanking around the bank, that's why. It was wrapped around some snags. It was wrapped around all that crap. One big one on the impatient check, off to a great start. This spot I come to quite often. You've probably seen it quite a few times on my channel. I just love it here. It's close and it's also one of my favourites. It's got quality but it doesn't have quantity. I never catch heaps of crayfish here, but I get some nice ones and that was one of them. Anyhow, I'm going to go home now, change my shoes and socks and my pants, get some gum boots, come back and check them in about an hour. I'm a lumberjack and I don't care. Well folks, it's been pretty much smack bang on 1 hour. Let's see, this will be the last check that I do in daylight. Next time I come, I'll have a torch. Let's see if I've done any good after 1 hour. Not in that one. This is the net that had the big Goliath in it earlier. Didn't feel very heavy. I said that last time too, didn't I? No, nothing. Net number 3. Can you save this? Oh, it feels heavy. There's something in here. I'm surprised if there's nothing in here. I am hopeless at calling it. Right, let's check the bait trap. I'm not expecting too much here, but it's all for a bit of fun, bit of adventure. Got to try these things. Nope, nothing in there but the sinkers that I put in to help keep it down. I reckon this is rising. I am convinced that the water is actually rising. Hopefully it doesn't rise to the point that it goes over my gumboots. Right folks, I'm back. Time to check the nets again. Nah, doesn't feel very heavy. The rabbit just hasn't even had a look in. There's no bite marks on it, nothing. So far, this is the only net that's caught anything so far. Doesn't feel heavy. Oh, it's got one, beauty. Beautiful cray in it. I don't think it's the one I caught earlier. It's definitely not. It hasn't got eggs. Well, there you go. I reckon that's a legal cray. Under the maximum. Under the maximum, over the minimum, I've got a legal male. There you go folks, a beautiful, not sure what the camera angle's like here, hoping that's in frame. A beautiful legal sized Murray cray, legal in every way. But today's your lucky day. See you later mate. I wonder if I've caught him before. I do cray here quite often. I might go and pull the other net out before I put this one back in. It feels heavy. No, nothing. Right, time to check the collapsible bait trap. I'm not expecting much from this. Nothing. Right, now I'm going to leave these nets in now and check them in the morning. As long as I've got my credentials on my crane nets, which I have, I'm allowed to do that. That's a silly spot to lean that torch, isn't it? Righto folks, these nets have been in all night. They're coming home with me now. It's time for the Lionel Richie check. All night long, all night long. This is the rabbit net and it's got nothing in it. Nothing at all. Has it even been eaten? Well, it looks like it's got a couple of chew marks on it, but not a lot. My dog wouldn't eat that rabbit, you know. I ate half of it, but the crayfish don't like it and my dog wouldn't eat it. Doesn't say much for the rabbit, does it? Right, doesn't feel heavy at all, but the last time I said that there was a cray in it. This time there's not. Right, net number 3. Can we be saved by the last net? No. Not expecting anything to be in here. Actually, I did catch a shrimp. I caught one weeny little shrimp. It's actually one shrimp more than I thought I'd catch. That's one little shrimp out in the floodwater. It's one shrimp more than I expected to catch. See you later, mate. Exactly the same result as this time last year when the water was high. Had to walk through the floodwater and I caught 2 crayfish and they were both very big, and that's it.